Hello everyone, this is Godzilla Wolf 1 and I'm back with the second part of my 200 subscriber special toy review, which is Dark of the Moon Ultimate Optimus Prime. And I apologize in advance for the autofocus issue I had last time. I think I fixed it. Hopefully it won't happen again. I really apologize for that, and also for the fact that for some reason my Microsoft Windows Movie Maker doesn't like to edit this, and I don't have the funds right now to get anything else. But anyway, let's get on to the second part of the review, which will cover the whole combined form. And also, one thing I want to mention that I forgot to mention in the last one is he has a thigh swivel. I don't know how I forgot to mention that. It's actually a really good thigh swivel because it has this cover here that does a really good job of making it look natural. Anyway, just had to mention that. And also, another thing I want to mention is of all of the ports they had in vehicle mode for mech-tech weapons, not only does you gain the ones in the hand, if you transform the backpack just a little bit differently and swing it like that, you can use the ones on the back too for storage. Just a little thing, but it's easy enough to do, and I find it doesn't interfere much with anything. I don't need him right now. You don't really need to do anything to prep him for transformation except simply flip the feet down like that. That's literally all you have to do to prep him for transformation. Then you take the trailer. Now this is pretty simple. First you want to unpeg this big hunk from the bottom, which is easier said than done because it is a very secure fit in there. Yeah, that pegs in like 6 different places, so it's actually going to be very hard to get off. Anyway, now we got this big hunk of plastic, which also now you can see those do a good job of holding it up. Now you want to come down here to the bottom and take this and flip it up if you can. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. It probably is better if you unpeg these parts right here first, so you have the space to do so. And basically all we're going to do is essentially peel him. Like, that's really all we're doing here, and some of these are actually really tight. Some of them aren't. And that's kind of an irritation, but let's see. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. That was tighter than I expected. Anyway, now that we got that, we want to stand this whole thing up. And it instantly becomes higher than my tripod. So let's do something about that, shall we? Oh, okay, it's probably not that high. Let's go about that high right now. Now, next you want to do is unpeg these handles from the sides of the arms. Well, will be the arms. And on mine, this part keeps popping off. It's annoying, but it really doesn't hurt anything. It just goes right back on. Then you unpeg this. It pegs in like right here. And yeah, they do pop off, but that really doesn't hurt anything. They're probably meant to do that. And next you want to unpeg this part back here. Basically, yeah, you're peeling him. Like, that's basically what you're doing, is you're peeling the entire robot. Oh, wait. Now you just want to peel that out of the way. Okay. Then you want to come up here, grab this whole section up here, and it's not pegged into anything down here, so you just force this up. It can be a bit tricky to do, and I should probably raise the tripod up just a little more so you can actually see what I'm doing. You want to take this whole section and, oops, I unpegged that back there. Oh, and yeah, I forgot something back here. You want to finish unpegging these wing sections back here and split, and that's just so you can get them out of the way and they won't cause any trouble later. So basically you want to, let me see how I do it. It's kind of a little tricky. Let's see. I believe there's a double hinge here, if I'm not mistaken anyway, so this can hinge back. This is always the most tricky part of the transformation. There you go. Basically, there's a double hinge in there. You want to hinge this section. Okay, now you can see better. You want to hinge this section back so that this is floating like that. Then you just want to rotate the whole thing down and snap it into place back there. It should snap anyway. You might want to spread these out first so there's space. There you go. And then get the wing that ejected off and put it back on. So, yeah. Yeah, that felt a lot more difficult than it should be. And like I said, these wings have a habit of popping off. I think that's better than them just being able to break off at the moment's notice. So I don't mind that much. Just be wary that those will pop off repeatedly. Okay, next you want to come back here to the front. Rotate everything such that it's completely out of the way, because that will be needed for the combining process. Come down here to... sorry I keep having to move the camera around, but this guy's so massive. Then you want to split the legs apart, which is a bit easier said than done due to various things, but you want to do that. Then you want to bring these down like that. And now we're all ready for combination. So, let's grab Prime here. Well, actually, one more thing you want to do before that. You want to take this gun here, flip this part out like that, and then you want to... how do I put this? Ah, yeah, like that. You want to flip this all the way down like that, so it goes from like that to like that. Then you want to peg it in right up here, which can be a bit difficult. I won't lie about that. Especially if those things keep getting in the way of it. And once you do, and I'm sorry if you can't see anything, this guy's so huge, it can be a bit tricky to line everything up. But once you do, it should snap in just like that. So once you... Oops, I just did not show any of that on screen, did I? Whoops. Basically, you just want to plug this into where the trailer hitch was in vehicle mode. And then you want to come around to the back. This guy's getting a bit back heavy. That will be fixed once I actually plug the guy in. And line everything up such that this snaps in back here. Like that. So there you go, that's all done. I feel like something's a little off back here. I don't know. Oh, okay, I actually remembered something you're supposed to do to kind of free up some some wing articulation back here. See, am I getting this on screen? Yes, I am. Basically, you want to bend this, bend the blue part of the joint forward while bending the gray part back. And what that does is it basically frees up the wing articulation completely. So do that and you should be okay. Now, I know this guy was looking a little floppy right now. That's mainly because he's not yet combined up. So you just want to flip out the fists now. And now we're all ready for the combining. Basically, you want to grab Prime. And there's several places that are all going to peg in. This part here will peg into this black thing here. There's several parts down here that will peg into the seat down here. And this will peg into, the trailer hitch point will peg into this right here. So this is going to be a very secure connection. You just want to make sure you got everything out of the way so he will fit down in here without problems, which can be a little tricky sometimes, especially right now. Probably because I'm recording. Because that normally makes things a lot more difficult than they should be. I don't know why. Okay, there, now he's in. Now I just need to snap him into place in various places. There you go. Okay. Now he's all secure. Okay, how you do this just varies, but I'm going to have to bring you guys down again. I'm sorry if I'm giving you guys motion sickness. But the little ports that I showed last time on the bottom of the feet peg into little holes right here, which can be a little tricky to line up. But once you do, it makes the whole thing more secure. Because that kind of adds his joints to the leg joints. So basically, while it was a little floppy before, now his own feet joints are going to help with that. Then you just put these up and snap them into place, and there you go. That's done. Next up, you want to flip these up just in preparation. And you want to put these little clips into his torso. Let me see, can you see that right? Yeah, you can, okay. I'm trying to find a good position for this because this guy's just so huge. You basically want to swing these up until they snap into place underneath his chest. There's two little divots back there that they will snap into, and that basically completes the look. Anyway, last thing we're going to do is very carefully align all these various swivel joints in the shoulders so that these go over his normal joints. Like you want the new shoulder to go over his old shoulder, and basically have him grab these holes in the new fists. And once you do that, you just flip that down to kind of complete the shoulder. Okay, if you didn't see that, second verse, same as the first, as Mgo likes to say. If you don't know who Mgo is, he's actually a pretty cool YouTuber. You should probably check him out. Anyway, so you just want to make it... This is a little tricky. I always found this very tricky, because what you basically need to do is make sure every single one of these joints is lined up correctly, or else this will not work. And there's like 7 back here, so that can be a little hard to do. But once you do, you simply peg this into his hand, which once more can be easier said than done due to the sheer amount of joints involved. Yeah, like I said, this can be a little difficult simply because he's got so many joints that all have to be lined up properly. And sometimes that is difficult to do. But come on. Stop fighting me. This is for YouTube. Stop fighting. There we go. Okay. And there we have him all formed up. Dark of the Moon Ultimate Optimus Prime. And this guy is freaking enormous. Like, this is literally, like, okay, here's actually a size comparison before I do anything else. Because that is the big thing about this toy, is how freaking massive he is. Let me see if I can actually go back here for a second to show you the full size of this guy. Okay, I think that'll do for showing you the full size. Okay, let's grab a few Transformers here. Here's Bumblebee. Here's Deluxe Class Bumblebee. Yeah, Deluxe Class Bumblebee is dwarfed, as are any vehicle mode cars you have. And the big one I want to show is, let me see if I can actually fit both of them on screen at the same time, Energon Omega Sentinel, which is the biggest toy in my collection. I already reviewed it, so I already reviewed it a while back, which is why I'm not reviewing it now. Yeah, he's only a little bit shorter than Omega Sentinel, and he doesn't have nearly as much bulk, but one thing to consider is this guy's entire chest section is hollow, so probably this guy weighs more. And for one last size comparison, here is the Omega Max Megazord I just reviewed. He's bigger than the Omega Max Megazord. Well, bigger in the sense that he's, well no, he's about the same size actually. But he's a little bit bigger in that he's got these massive wings, which, yeah, those wings are freaking enormous. Like, okay, here, actually let me check something. Let me give you an idea of how big of a wingspan this dude has. He has a 24-inch wingspan. That's big. Now, as for articulation, he really doesn't have much. He has the arms. That's really all the he still has his head joint, but he basically has elbows, which actually go 90 degrees and pretty uninhibited, thanks to all those joints. Can go out fairly nicely, can move about that far forward, Like, it does get in the way, but it's not too bad. And somehow I'm already running out of space on my memory card, so I better pick this up and show you the very last thing he does. Well, first, I should probably bring it in really quickly to show you a bit of a pan shot of him. He's got nice detail. Like, the new parts do have nice detail, and he has a very nice gradient on his wings. And those chest pieces do bulk him out a good bit. The waist section looks nice. The new arms look pretty cool. I like the shoulder pads. And, yeah, basically that's him in a nut. I mean, like, that's... Basically, his appearance hasn't changed that much, but he got a lot of armor. And I like the gradient on the wings. Now, one last detail I need to show you is the big cannon, which right now is basically acting as a thruster on the back. That's basically what it's doing right now. But you want to unpeg it, flip it forward. It comes down over his head, or should. Yeah, there we go. Then you just need to position the arms such that they're holding on to these big gray pegs right here. And now you have him in blow everything up mode. I believe this is called some sort of cannon. But yeah, now he has a freaking massive cannon. Like, and let me show you the cannon. Like, okay, nice translucent plastic barrel. Plenty of detailing, Autobot symbol right there. And, yeah, the new head, which some people have modified this so he can have that head in normal mode, which I think is a good idea. If you can find out how to mod it and are okay doing so, I would suggest doing it. Anyway, let's look at his sound effects. There's these two buttons right here that activate sound effects. That one's like a machine gun firing. That one is some sort of mecha noise. I believe something happens if you press both at the same time. I thought you did anyway. And last but not least is the Mech Tech gimmick, which if you pull this back, and I should probably actually show this a bit at a side angle so you can get the full effect. That opens up and it basically makes the sound effect of blowing everything up. And telling you he's Optimus Prime. And I believe there's two different versions of that sound effect. Yeah, basically one where he says he's Optimus Prime, one where he doesn't. And I am almost out of memory space, so I better wrap this up. Okay, this guy is freaking enormous. Like, this is the second largest toy in my entire collection. You need a lot of shelf space for this guy, but he is so impressive looking. And also, I guess this counts as articulation. You can move his leg joints in and out, but that's all the articulation you get. And he's a really cool figure. Like, this was very expensive when it came out, I think. But he is just so huge and has so much to do. I can't help but recommend this guy. I mean, you need to have shelf space for him. You definitely need to have shelf space for him. And the gorilla arms, yeah, that's an issue, but it's mainly to make this combine mode look better. Because, well, the arms have to fit inside of these bigger arms. So, kind of like Power Master Prime's giant head. But, yeah, basically, my recommendation is, if you can find this for a decent price, get it. If you can't get it for a decent price, see what you consider a decent price, I guess. It varies from person to person what they're willing to pay for a figure like this. I personally would pay probably 60 bucks. That's what I got for it originally. There's also the Year of the Dragon version of this, which has a lot more red, a different paint scheme, and I think some remolding. But, yeah, I recommend this toy if you enjoy it. And, well, thanks for 200 subscribers. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye! I still don't have a catchphrase.